Welcome to a short update regarding the newest ParamCopy version 1.1. ParamCopy is a plugin for Substance Designer that lets you copy parameters between nodes and also save and recall their states. There's already a tutorial video available, linked in the description below, that I encourage you to watch if you don't know about this plugin. This present video is discussing the 1.1 update, which is adding a single new functionality, but a useful one, called Named Clipboards, which is support for multiple clipboards. Let's see how this works using two examples. So here we have a graph with cell designs. We have large cells, which are the outer here layer. So this is simply a cells node combined to warp node. For the smaller cells, we have also cells nodes, also using warp node to distort them and blend them. So what I want to do with this is set up multiple configurations for the inner cells in terms of size and thickness. So I'm selecting this cells node. We have a given scaling and edge width. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm using the copy dialog. I'm going to select scale and edge width, and I'm going to name this configuration as inner small. So this will be the name of this clipboard that I'm going to copy now. Click OK. If I click this button now, it's going to display all the clipboards that I have. So we see the one that I just created. I can leave this window open and still continue working because this is a non-model dialog box. So now let's increase the size a bit and make the edges thicker. And again, I'm going to copy this new configuration, scale edge width, and code it inner medium. And now I'm going to scale again a bit more and a bit thicker. Copy, scale edge width, inner large. So now I'm going to select, let me first select this, so this is the result. I'm going to select the two cells nodes here. So I can do this and even select the one in the middle, which is the purling noise. It doesn't matter because when I'm going to paste parameters, since this node here is of a different type, it's not a cells node, the parameters won't be copied into it, so I can select it, it's okay. So I have those three selected, including the two cells nodes. Now I can paste either of these clipboards inside the nodes that I selected. So this one, I selected it, I do paste, and now I have the inner small configuration. I can use inner medium or inner large. So another thing I can do, if I don't want to use this direct pasting here using this button, I can simply select a configuration like this one, inner small, and use this set current clipboard. So now the clipboard is being set to this configuration. So if I go there and do a paste, it's going to use this clipboard. So here I changed only this node here to a smaller type of cells. I can also select multiple cells and do a paste over multiple cells, still using the current clipboard. So let's delete all the clipboards here, and we're going to look at another example. So this graph here is using hair and fur, which is another tool I'm doing to generate hair textures. So basically the way it's organized is we have three here instances of hair and fur, so to generate hair. Here we have just a node which is used to view a specific map, because these nodes output actually several maps. If we look at this, see we have several outputs. So here we have three designs. So this one, and this one. And those three are going into a combiner, which is combining them, it's merging them, and then it's outputting all the maps. So the resulting, so this was the IDs, this is the depth map, color map, flow map, etc. So what I want to do here is set up two different configurations, one which will be a work mode, where I will have fast drawing, in fact, of the hair strands. And also I want only to have a single output map in this case, because I want things to go as fast as possible. And then I'll define another configuration, which is a render mode, where we have a better drawing and all the maps enabled. So let's select one heron-fur node. And the configuration I have here, I have a low pattern iteration count. I'm using this type of pattern beam here, which is fine for the draft, for the fast mode. And I have all the maps disabled except the depth map, which is fine. This one I want to keep. So you see we have chunky things here because we're using actually very small amount of iterations. So this is good for draft mode. And so that's what we're going to save here. So I'm going to use the copy dialog. Let's collapse everything and re-expand this one. And copy the pattern properties and the output properties. The pattern for the number of iterations and the type of pattern I want to use, and the outputs for the different maps I want to enable or not. I'm going to call this draft mode. Okay, we see it here. So we see the number of parameters that we have inside the clipboard and their values, and the list of parameters also. So now I'm going to change to render mode. So for this I'm going to change the pattern type. I'm going to use hemisphere. I'm going to disable dynamic pattern size and rotation here, and increase the number of iterations to like 300. So you can see now the render is much better. And also I'm going to enable all the maps this time. Like this. So again, let's copy this pattern and outputs, and let's call this render mode. Alright, so now let's look at our final maps here. So the combinations, in fact, of the three designs. I'm going to select the three heron-fur nodes and pass them all into draft mode. So if you look at the maps here, they're all black except the depth here, which is the one I kept enabled in the draft mode. And if we look at the map, we have these chunky things here. So they're all in fact in draft mode with a low number of iterations. Now if I use the render mode, so we have the better looking render type, and we have all the maps which have been drawn. So this way we can move very quickly from one configuration to one another. And you can do this with any combination of parameters and any type of nodes, not only with heron-fur but in your own graphs and substances. Thank you for watching this short ParamCopy 1.1 update, and if you have any question, you can ask them in the comments below.